Hello, thank you all for being here today. My name is Paola Guthrie. I'm here from Creating Purpose with Pau, and I welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Her Network on Zingo TV, channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app on the respective app stores while you download it. Please make sure that you rate it, you leave a comment because feedback is important to us. The app is totally free. You can also find Single TV on Google Chromecast, on Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and in all smart TVs from 2016 and forward. Thank you for being here, May. Let me introduce you before. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. So today in the house we have May Zaki. She's a corporate wellness oracle. She is a best-selling author. She's an amazing entrepreneur and a keynote speaker. And I welcome her to the house. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, thank you.
So exciting. So please share with our audience a little bit about you so they get to know you more.
So basically, my name is May. I'm 41 years old, and I'm like most women who have been dieting since forever. I was dieting since 13 years old. So it took me around 20 years until I figured out that dieting is hurting me. So since then, I released the weight for good, and I feel I'm on a mission to help moms everywhere to achieve the healthy body, and break up the cycle of yo-yo diet once and for all. So this is basically me.
Yes, and it's so inspiring see you uh with that energy, that you want to inspire other women. And what is beautiful is that, like I said, is I feel it. So I met May in one of it was an event, a virtual event, and we both spoke on that event. So whenever I heard her speak, I was like, oh wow, it's like very inspiring. And I when I get inspired, it's like I want to learn more from that person. So this is her first book, and it's not just about how to find the right way to stop dieting, but it takes you like deeper than that. Like it peels a couple of layers for sometimes we have to value who we are, but we're going to dive into it in a little bit. So on this book, Mind Over Tummy, she talks about the struggles, of emotional eating and how her own experience of dieting until she learned about mindset. So, May, could you please share with us how can we find, that help through our mindset, our very own mindset?
So basically, as I mentioned, I was dieting from when I was 13 years old. So I was conditioned that if you fail the diet, you are the problem. The problem is in you. You are the one who is broken. And I didn't know that the system is broken. You know what I mean? So I kept on dieting. Okay, so I was conditioned to love my body as long as it weighed this point on the scale. I associated my self-worth and self-love with the number on scale. And it affected me a lot through the years, a lot. Until I migrated to Australia around 7 years ago. And I was looking for a job, and everyone told me, look, try to figure a new, like study, get a new qualification, something like this. So I was really desperate to learn about nutrition because I thought if I learn about nutrition, I will know how to lose weight. But actually, I was lucky enough to study weight management. What is different about weight management? That it addressed the mindset. And if we didn't address the mind, everything will fail, as 20 years before. So when I came across the word mindset for the first time, it's like, what's the mindset? What do they mean by mindset? And I learned that it's our belief system, how we think about ourselves. conditioning, like like we are conditioned that only skinny women are feminine. For instance, our confidence comes from how much we weigh on the scale. So this is all the mindset, and it affects us in a deeper level where we really lose our self-esteem, self-confidence. We no longer believe in ourselves to reach a healthy body. So when I started to coach women as well, the first question I ask, do you believe that you can reach the ideal body finally? And after 2, 3 seconds they tell me, no, we don't believe. It's like we are trying, but actually we think like again, we are going to fail. This is another kind of experience. So this is how diet affects us deeply. So mindset ultimately is everything. Is everything. Once we shift it to the right direction, that's that's like priceless. And you are non-stoppable. You are on the pathway to success and the ultimate success. How to keep your body for good.
That's beautiful. Yes. It's like, I love how on your book you talk about how sometimes we attach our own value to the scale. Whenever we get on that scale, and if we see the number, if we don't like it, then we devalue ourselves. And it's a game that if you stay in there long enough, it's like it brings you misery. Like you don't, it's like you don't enjoy life because you're attaching your happiness, you're attaching your fulfillment on that number on the scale. And yes, it begins with mindset. It was one of the biggest aha moments that I enjoyed. It's like, yeah, it's like even on whenever we stand on the scale, it's like it is about mindset. We have to analyze, like how the month has been. Maybe you were, stressed out during the month. It could be that it was the holidays, it could be, that you were dealing with stress or another situation. And sometimes we attach, directly that number to our own value. So yes, it's like it was good to read, and how you're inviting women to get out of that game, get out of that. Like you said, you were dieting for years and years and years. And another thing that you said you stopped playing the game is because on your book you share that there is like the dieting industry earns about 73, 74 billion with a $1 billion a year. And you mentioned they don't want you to get out. It's like they don't want you to get out. You talk about diets, and I was like, oh wow, it's true, because they make many of those products that they promise, right? And then if they don't deliver, you're gonna go and find another diet or another, like because you want to lose weight because you attach your value to the number of on that scale. So it was very interesting finding out, like how much money they make a year, and how you bring the awareness that, hey, they don't want you to get out of that game. So we have to use our mindset. So it's beautiful. Also on your book, you said, you talk about negative self-image. And as women, I've learned, our brain, that side of the brain, system, right, it's like larger than a male. So we tend to be very critical with our body image. So you bring this awareness, negative self-image. So could you please share how our inner confidence, how our self-acceptance, you talk about self-acceptance and self-respect can help us in our journey to learn to accept our body.
Actually, I was when I started studying weight management and applying those techniques on myself. I started like 2 weeks before. I remember the moment till now. I just remember it vividly. I was sitting on a blue couch in my apartment in Sydney, and the kids were sleeping. It was late night, and I was really desperate because for 1 week I decided to lose weight. So I went on a diet, an extreme diet, like every time, you know. So I failed, and I didn't lose 1 kilo at that point, and I was really starving the whole week. And this point, I was sitting on the couch and looking to the sky, and I was just talking to myself, May, please stop fighting. Seriously, like you are fighting for 20 years. Like you don't live your life. You are scared to touch food in front of people, and on the other side you are eating unconsciously, and you are always feeling guilty and shame. And in the same time, I have a lot of outfits that I cannot touch, I cannot wear because of my weight. So I'm waiting until I lose weight. I'm waiting until I lose weight. No, this is not life. Go get some outfits and start living. Okay, you can look good even if you are overweight. That's something else. But try to go out from this mood. I was really caught in hate. I looked to the mirror and I hated looking in the mirror, and I kept thinking, how come my husband is accepting me the way that I am? You know, can you imagine how we disrespect ourselves? So at that point, I said, that's it. Look, stop fighting and accept yourself. And from here, this was the ultimate shift. And I started to look for a qualification. I wanted to go and have a job. Of course, my previous qualifications were in marketing and business, and I wanted to have another qualification to meet the Australian standards. That's why I went into weight management. And from here, I started to apply those techniques, but with love. Like I was loving doing this. I was in love taking care of myself. Oh my God, I'm eating everything and I'm controlling what I eat. It's the first time I'm in control. Not afraid of food or eating food unconsciously. So food wasn't controlling me. I was controlling the situation. So I felt free. I felt powerful. And here, where I started to coach women, and I was really astonished because I thought this is me, this is my own experience. But when I started coaching one-to-one with female leaders and with different backgrounds because Australia is diverse. We have it's a multicultural country. So with diverse background, I saw that women are all the same, and they are leaders. They are executives. They go on a boardroom and they have a meeting and they have presentation, and their inner self-image is making you are not enough. You are not enough. They will look at your body. They left how good they are and how good their presentation is, how qualified they are, and they kept on thinking, no, my body. They will judge my body. They will judge my size. They will not take me seriously. You know what? All kind of negative self-talk. So I was astonished that it hits every one of us. It hits everyone. And the more astonishing point that some of them are grandmas. So some of them are 50 years old, and they are having a grandson or granddaughter. And you cannot imagine, Paula, that their own struggle started with they were kids, and they still remember. I still remember this client so much because she's my friend now. She kept on saying, May, I still remember my mom when she used to tell me, stop eating, you will be fat. Stop eating, you will be fat. The kids will make fun of you.
Okay, I didn't catch the last part. What would she say? I think we had a little technical issue, but what would she say?
Yeah, she was saying that still she remembers her mom. She's 50 years old, and she still remembers the exact struggle when this struggle started. Her mom used to tell her, stop eating. When she was child, stop eating. You will be fat. You will be fat. Everyone will make fun of you. We want mothers to start empower their kids and especially their daughters to face society. this is fake standards. You know what I mean? I'm good whether I'm with hijab, whether I'm a red lipstick, whether I'm overweight, in any shape I'm made. It doesn't really affect my self-worth. So it starts from moms at home to empower those kids and those um, daughters to face the society and the fake standards. So it affects us in a very, very deep level.
Yes. And you know what, May? As humans, we have this huge need to feel accepted. Like we have this huge need to feel accepted by others, that we get trapped in this game of trying to belong, trying to feel like we're enough, trying to figure out that we matter, that we forget, like we forget to truly respect ourselves, to accept ourselves, like to look inside and see that a higher power invested energy, invested time in creating us, and that we're here for a purpose. And yeah, and we have to tilt the mindset of attaching, like you were saying, our weight with our value. And because it doesn't just happen with weight. Sometimes we get trapped into trying to drive the nice car, trying to wear the nice clothes. If I don't wear the nice clothes, maybe I don't feel like I matter, or that that I am enough. So it's a constant game that at times is with food. And as women, we know that body image is a huge, I'm not going to say issue, but it's we all go through that stage even when we're younger. And on your book, you talk about how if we let our young girls, our daughters, to begin dieting, they're more likely to have eating problems when they get older. So I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that.
Me either, me either. But when I looked at studies, I found that the studies are reflecting my own experience in life. Like
Yes.
the same, they are reflecting what I have been going through 20 years. So yes, I believe those studies too.
Yeah. So if you guys don't get anything else from this interview, from this conversation, just get the part where you have to learn to respect yourself and accept yourself just the way you are. And I mean, we're gonna move on to more into more detail, but begin with that the seed. Plant that seed in your heart, where it's like, okay, look internally, all your beautiful talents. You know, you're here for a reason, and learn to detach your value from the scale. So
Yes.
yes. Also on your book, one of my favorite phrases, which I think this is perfect right now, you said that you said, I learned to accept myself the way I am and work to better the version of myself. So that's beautiful. It's like, let us know, or teach us how to let go of that perfectionism. How, like whenever you and I had a conversation, it was so beautiful. Whenever you said, it was like, we as women try to do it all, and sometimes in the middle of trying to do it all, we feel like we're not doing enough. So how can we learn to accept ourselves, and at the same time take the decision to continue to work towards a better version of ourselves, and let go of the huge responsibility?
Look, for us women, it takes huge courage to go to this step. Like I remember why it was very hard for me, because still I was conditioned by my mom, and I saw how my mom struggled so long with health issues, and she didn't go to the doctors. She didn't get any help, and she used to say, "No, your brother need this. You need this." Blah blah. Like, you know, I reflect now and feels like I was conditioned to know that motherhood is equal to burnout. If you are not burned out, you are not a good mom. This is what I was conditioned to. Like, I should be suffering, I should be, like, screaming, everything, because I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And this is the victim mentality. Oh, okay, you are a mom, you should be doing everything. And when this is the ultimate excuse why we don't do things for ourselves. Oh no, I have no money, I have no time, I have no effort. I'm doing all for the kids. I'm looking like a superhero and I'm actually living in a victim mentality. Because my kids, before, I used to yell a lot. I was so stressed, in hate. I'm in a hate energy. So how come I will transfer or give them love and respect and give them this relaxation kind of funny moments or something? Never. It is impossible. So when I take care of myself, I'm actually giving them a better mom. And now I'm much, much more uh, like happier and healthier mom to them. So we are conditioned for this mentality for years. So to break this mentality, it takes huge courage, to be honest. It takes huge courage, but it's not impossible. It's just shifting the mentality from the victim mentality towards being in control. You are in control. You have the choice, actually, because now I have more responsibility than before. As I said, I migrated to Australia, but last year I migrated back to Egypt, and I'm homeschooling my three kids. Two of them are teenagers, and I have two businesses, not one business, and still my clients are overseas. And now, for instance, 11 p.m. my time, sometimes I meet with people at 5 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? And still I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So it's just the mentality change from the victim mentality to someone who is really in control and have the choice. I choose to do this because I love this and I deserve. Like before, to be honest, I wasn't even, it's very strange, Paula. You remind me of really hard moments before, but I'm really glad that I overcame all of this. For instance, before, I never never. I prepare breakfast for everyone. My husband goes to work with his lunchbox, my kids, everyone, and I'm sitting at home starving, and I even don't care to open the fridge and do something for me. Maybe the leftovers, okay, but I don't deserve to have something for my own. Now I sit down and I cook something for me. If I love it, I crave it, I cook it. And I sit down enjoying because I feel like it's my natural right. You know what I mean? I'm not really rewarding myself. This is my right. This is my right to nourish my body. And I respect this body, so I nourish it.
Yeah.
So acting from a place of love and respect will always be the ultimate solution. And you said something very, very like beautiful. I want to. Something happened.
Your picture frame went
Oh my
down.
god!
Yeah, I hope it's okay.
So you said something I want to reflect on it because I always tell this kind of metaphor to my clients too. Like it's a seed, right? We do it the wrong way. We want to lose weight, to look good, okay, so we start to love our bodies and respect ourselves and we feel worthy. No, it happens from inside out. So we start putting the seed and start nourishing the seed, nourishing the body, working on the mindset, and then we see the results on the physical body. So the physical body might take 2 3 months, maybe it takes more, but from the inside we feel content and we feel happy and we feel we are free from this emotional eating and we in love and in respect with ourselves. So we start self-care effortlessly. We don't need effort to practice self-care. So that's why it's a seed. We need to put it down, seed of self-love, respect, and body love, and then you keep on working until you see the physical. So once the physical is here, it will be forever.
Yes. Something came to me, and I want to share with the audience. Like, we're talking about mindset. We're talking about learning to accept and respect, ourselves with the intention, like at this time and moment. It's like be grateful for who we are. Be grateful for the blessings that are within us already. You know, and always with the mentality to continue to always work the best version of ourselves, because life is changing. Life is changing. We're right now, we might be at a different stage, but as our children get older, we're always going to be changing and adapting to new situations. So that's why I always tell myself, it's like I will die trying to become a better version of myself, because I'm going to have grandkids in the future, and I'm going to have to learn what it's like. I'm going to go through different experiences. So that's, I always keep that, it's always an ongoing process, becoming a better version of ourselves. So as the conversation that we're having right now is like, think, like, what are those beautiful talents? What are the beautiful things that you're grateful for you right now, that you offer to other people, that you offer to yourself? And what does it look like to you, the next level? What are three things that you need to do every day that makes you feel like you're respecting yourself, that you're accepting yourself? And it could be as simple as going for a walk for 20 minutes. It could be, dancing one song every day. It could be reading a chapter of a book, or it could be listening to a podcast, to like an interview. It doesn't have to, you don't have to empty your pocket, or your wallet. It starts, like May was saying, it starts like within you. But mindset, like you have to learn to associate the meaning that you want to give it to. Is like, what does it mean to you to begin to love yourself a little bit more? What are three simple things where you don't have to spend money? It's like three simple things that you're going to begin to associate, that being kinder to yourself, respecting yourself, always moving towards becoming a better version of yourself. It could be as simple as that, but I love that you share that, May, that yeah, it starts within us. Any change that we want to create, it has to be within before it can be translated or transformed into, the physical, or the outer. So yes, thank you for saying that.
No, it's my pleasure. Actually, I thank you for saying that. It's always a continuous journey, and you know what? It's never about the destination. It's never about the destination. It's always about the journey. How beautiful
Yeah.
the journey is, because sometimes we can't. Like I used to say, and I always say, I might die before I reach my goal. Who knows? I might die, but I'm enjoying the process. Why should I stress out? And I might die, and I might not really enjoy either the goal or the destination. So let's
Yes.
start having fun. And as you said, we don't have to spend money. People get confused because self-care, and it's another industry like the diet industry these days.
Say
And
that
they're
say that
making
one more time. I
billions
think we
because,
lost you for just a little bit. So can you please repeat that one more time?
like, self-care industry, it's the same, a reflection or a new industry, the same exactly like the diet industry. So they are making billions of dollars for you to buy things in order to practice self-care. Self-care doesn't need you to spend money. It could be a cup of coffee. For me, it was just preparing a good, healthy, hot meal. As you said, go for a walk, just dance. Anything that doesn't need you to spend money. It's very
Yeah.
easy. Very, very easy.
Yes. Yeah, or it could be, like maybe that start with one apple a day. If we eat or one fruit a day, maybe that gives you the sense of or the feeling that you're like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. And it begins with baby steps. That's the
Exactly.
only way it's going to last. some of the beautiful words that you mentioned on your book, like you talk about consistency. It's like those baby steps, like is that consistency and always striving to grow, grow our mind and become just a better version of ourselves. But yeah, we'll continue. I wrote a couple of beautiful words, that I love to hear now and then because it reminds me to like, okay, continue. This is going to help you. But
Yes.
yeah, one of them is consistency. And I'm glad that you share that. Yeah, the self-care industry is making a lot of billions of money as well. So just make sure that you don't get trapped without no growth, right? Same thing with the dieting industry. We're not saying it's wrong. We're just bringing the awareness that they're making billions of dollars so that you're not trapped into one diet to the next diet to the next diet because that one's not working. But if you figure out your beautiful mindset, that it begins with you accepting you who you are right now, and as you find, what works for you, because what works for you might not work for me or might not work for May. And you talk about that on your book. You said you talk about the gluten-free diet. You talk about the keto diet. So find what works for you, you know, and continue to grow. It's like don't
Yes.
get trapped into that dieting
Whatever.
industry.
Yes. Whatever you feel you can be consistent on. Like keto. Yeah, I can be consistent on. Go for keto. No, no, no. I can't. Don't go for keto. So it's you who decides, not someone decides for you. Whatever you can be consistent on, because everyone, like I said before, I used to drop my kids to school. Now I'm homeschooling my kids. So situations really differs, and of course our age, a lot of factors affecting our
Yeah.
decisions. So whatever works for you that you can be consistent, go for it.
Yes, yes, thank you. uh Okay, so now you're working on our next book. I mean, your next book is gonna be released in a few months or at the end of the year, I think.
Yes, almost
It could
at the end of the year.
could you share the name? What's the name of the book? I
The lively leader. It's called the lively leader.
The Life of a Leader.
Yes, lively leader. The ultimate wellness and well-being blueprint that leaders crave.
And Maggie and I were having this conversation, and she's, as she wrote her first book, she was telling me that, oh, there is too many leadership books out there, and I agree with her. There is a lot of leadership books out there. She said now is like we need books that help the wellness of the leader. So that's what her next book is based on, is like the wellness of a leader. Because sometimes, leaders out there, they get too busy. Here we go. They get trapped into leading the company, leading the team, leading their people, that they forget to take care about themselves. So please let us know what do you think a true leader that is committed to take care of their people, how do you think they should handle their stress?
Oh, so basically, when I started this book, the idea of this book came because I own a consultation agency. So when we go consulting corporates, we consult the whole wellness culture in the whole company or organization. And the most common issue we see that nowadays, especially after COVID, they started this wellness coaching and they started taking care of their employees a bit. But for the employees, you rarely find special program for leaders. They invest in trainings in different dimensions for leaders, but not for wellness. Maybe for emotional intelligence, maybe for stuff like that. Handling people, listening to people, what leadership is, all of these things that we know. But when it comes to them, like there are conditions as well, like you should be taking care of everyone. Okay, so I'm taking care of everyone. Who's taking care of me? And when I say this to any leader or executive, I mean it's like, very good, you are amazing leader, and you are handling triple stress levels than we do. But who are taking care of it? And they wanted to cry. Like, this hit them very, very deep because they handle like unbelievable levels of stress. And when I started writing this book, I wanted to interview leaders from this walk of life. And everyone agreed, of them agree that we take our health for granted. And we are almost like, it's almost too late when we are aware of that we are burned out or chronically fatigued or having this stress level cortisol, thing. So it's almost too late. Nowadays, because of the pandemic and the mental health awareness that we are living in, like, we can see that there is a shift a little bit in the mindset, but we need more leaders who are aware that their health and well-being is the center of success. It's the ultimate core of success. You cannot succeed without being in good shape and good mental health. And actually, most of the leaders that I interview in the book, I tell them, look, you are already good, you are amazing leaders, right? So I'm not really questioning your productivity and performance, but what is about the wellness and how wellness will affect your performance, because you are already performing very well. And they would say, no, we are not performing really well. We are just scratching the surface. If you are really taking care of ourselves, we will be spiking, like the performance will be non-stoppable, and the solutions will be innovative, you know, and sustainable as well. So you cannot reach sustainability, innovation solutions without having a core, which is the well-being of your leaders. So this is the whole thing about the book, and handling stress is a big section of the book because they are having a lot through the daily lives, and they continue to have it even until they go back home. They still have the stress in thinking about what's going on out there, what's going on. The managers will be texting them a lot of things. So yeah, it's taking a huge section of the book as well.
I love it. I love it because I believe every leader begins at level one, like which begins with you. It's like you have to learn to lead yourself. And then as you lead yourself, you inspire others. And as you inspire others, you continue to grow, and then you inspire many, and so on. But I truly believe that the journey of a leader is every day they need to go back to level one leadership, the basis, the foundation. Is like, how am I showing up for myself so that I can continue to inspire others? So yeah, I can't wait to read your book. So it's like I love to, whenever I figure that out, whenever I've learned that there is a leader within us, all of us. There is a leader within us already. We just have to learn to develop it, right? Yes.
Exactly. Some people, I ask them to for an interview, and I say, I would love to interview you for my book, blah 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 blah. And they say, thank you so much, but I'm not a leader, and he is not seeing what he's doing and how he's a very good leader and he's amazing, inspiring. But unfortunately, they don't see themselves as leaders. Even moms at home, they don't see themselves as leaders. We are the ultimate leaders, the ultimate influencers, actually, moms at home. So yes, as you said, sometimes they're not. We are all leaders, but we need to be aware of this leadership.
Yes, and I totally agree with you because I have been like uh especially one that I can remember. One of the, like, they said, hey, come here and show me, give me a training, just 1 hour training, see what you do. And it was either I failed to communicate this message or they weren't ready to receive it. So I know that there are leaders out there that they have, to them that's a joke. but it's not a joke, because it's like we need you. We need great leaders,
Yeah.
and you have to stay healthy. And the healthier you are, the better you will feel. It's like, and to me, is like, as a brain health trainer, is like, it's your biology. Like, take care of your body,
Right.
your cell. Take care of your psychology, your social skills, and your spiritual life. That makes an awesome leader. But it's like, is that consistency, that we were talking about earlier, is like, is that consistency in order for us to continue to build that momentum to go to the next level of leadership, in order to touch more lives, to inspire more people. So it's like, I think your book is coming at the right time, where leaders need to be aware of wellness. Wellness is an important key of leadership, in order for them to continue to pour into their people, their team. So can't wait to read it. Now let's
Yeah.
talk about emotional eating, and how it affects all of us, because I've been there. There is times that that's my comfort zone. I'm stressed
All of
out.
us.
So yeah. So I know you talk about it on your book as well. And some leaders, like you and I were talking about, is like, sometimes they don't eat. They forget to schedule their meal, and they go through the day, and at the end of the day is like, just give me whatever that, whatever they see, and it might not be the healthiest thing, so we just eat, because we're exhausted, because we just want to replenish our energy with the first thing that we see, because we're just too tired to think. So that's where also the emotional eating uh, takes place. So could you please share a little bit about emotional eating before we go?
So basically, emotional eating hits every one of us. We are conditioned since we are babies to take this candy as a reward. So this candy full of sugar, full of colors, whatever. So we are wired that this is the good thing, which is very harmful to our brain, especially, and gut, of course. But we don't see this from a logical point of view. We are just rewarded with this kind of candy. And it keeps building until we don't follow this body respect kind of um, mindset. That we don't have this time to eat. I don't really schedule a time to have lunch, to sit down and stop everything and have lunch, or to stop everything and have a lovely dinner with my family and speak about different topics rather than thinking about work and business. So both the mentality and the conditioning comes to this disorder eating that you see everywhere. And of course, the industry that shapes our mindset as well affect us, because every time we go, we see these billboards full of junk foods and colors, and they know how to trigger our brain as well. So we go for these kind of things without thinking, and it's very easy, because if maybe I'm having this 15 minutes break and I went for a coffee shop, I will see these cupcakes, cupcakes, cupcakes. So it's very easy to grab a cupcake with the coffee instead of sitting down and eating a healthy, hot, balanced meal. So, and it's cheaper, by the way. So all the factors actually encourage people to eat this unhealthy food, and in unhealthy way, both the food and the manners or the behavior that we are using every day. So these two things, with the advertisements everywhere about these, everything triggers the mind. It's just starts with being aware and how to stop, you know. And as you mentioned, self-discipline, because why leaders struggle, they struggle again, thinking that although they are amazing, they feel deep down they are not good enough. Why? Because they lack self-discipline. They think they have it all, these big blocks, but when it comes to basics, they lack the basics. And they lack this self-discipline. That's why they feel insecure inside. They don't feel confident enough, or they feel I have to be confident if I'm really burned out. Exactly like moms. If I'm burned out, that's a good mom. I'm burned out. This is that I'm putting a lot of effort in leadership. So exactly the same limiting belief leaders do face with emotional eating, with eating disorders, and limiting belief that they don't need help. Most leaders, when I ask leaders, did you ever think of hiring a head coach? And they think, what? No. We hire a success coach, we hire a leadership coach, we hire a business, whatever. But when it comes to wellness, no. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, this is the least thing they think about. But definitely, emotional eating hits them and hits them with this mentality that we are not good enough. It affects their self-worth and self-esteem.
Yes, yes, it goes back to, yeah, it goes back to some of our limiting beliefs that we have been carrying on with us for the past, decade or so, or even from infancy. And sometimes it brings us to the weakness, and then we lead us into that emotional eating. And I mean, right now you say awareness, which I love that word awareness. But here we go again, for all of you that are like interesting in how to go to the next level. You can use mindful, like that's one word that you use on your book, and I love it. It's like be mindful, like let's practice. You can either use the word awareness, if that speaks to your heart, or maybe it's mindful. Be mindful every time you see the cupcake. If you want to let go of cupcakes, here we go, baby steps. It's like be mindful. It's like, okay, what did I eat today? If you already had a hamburger for lunch, like let's be mindful as you're nurturing your body, as you're being respectful to your body, as you're beginning to love your body and love you for who you are. Is like practice that the beautiful mindfulness, which leads into discipline. But it's the beauty of it is like it's leading you back to be respectful to you. If you ate a very heavy lunch, then be nice and kinder to yourself for dinner, because the only person that is going to benefit, it's
For
you,
sure.
it's me. Yeah, like if I eat healthy, my body, my cells are going to benefit. And here we go, as leaders, it begins with us. But if I feel good, how am I going to treat my family? It's like I'm going to smile. I'm probably going to, laugh if they say a joke, because I am not in a bad mood trying to digest my food from 3 days ago. Sometimes we get this it takes harder to digest some of that heavy
Yeah.
food, and our body knows it. And sometimes our feet hurt, our back hurts, like as we get
Yeah.
older, we begin to ache.
And actually, sometimes, especially fathers, I have noticed that they eat big meals because they forget to eat during the day, and when they eat, because they overeat, and their cortisol, their insulin levels rises so much, so they in this kind of not, this sugar rush, or so they are really not in the mood to play with the kids, not in the mood to really listen to their stories, so they can't be present in the moment too. So this is another good point.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And we only have about 5 minutes left. So I'm sorry. There's like so much I want to cover. uh, so how did you find, okay, let me go to the next question that I have. How having accountability in your journey of leadership has helped you?
Oh, it helped me a lot. It transformed my whole life, because once you are accountable to someone, you are doing the work. You are committed to do the work, because every day we are, okay, I'm committed to do the work, and we don't do the work. So someone there holds you and reminds you is very, very helpful to our journey in leadership, in wellness, in parenting, in any kind of transformation that we are seeking. The best and the ultimate solution for everyone to hire someone with his or her accountability.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how we can and actually build so much confidence in your abilities because, oh, I did the work. So you feel confident. Oh my God, I'm able to do this. I have achieved what I have in mind. So it boosts your confidence massively. I cannot tell you how much I invested in coaching and in myself, and I have never regretted because it transformed my whole life. And this is what I really need to say to anyone who watching us now. Like, try to invest in whatever dimension in life you need. This. Don't try to figure it out because you will waste a lot of time, effort, and energy, and you might quit on your way. But coaching will really help you find the right way and be consistent and confident.
Yes.
As
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. And if you're at the a journey, a point in your journey that you said, I can't afford it, well, find your friends who knows more than you in certain area of your life. It's like figure, let's use your resources. Like if you can't afford it right now, it's fine. But it's like figure out what group can you build. That you guys build each other up to create, a better version of yourselves. Where can we find you, May?
I'm on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, May Zaki, or the real May Zaki on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as well. So on the three platforms, you'll find me with the name May Zaki.
Awesome. Do you have a last message for our audience today?
Like, don't take your health for granted, please. It's never too late to start now before it's really too late. So start investing now for your sake. As Paula said, it's only you who will be feeling good, and the whole family actually will be like in love with you.
Yes, I totally agree with what May said because whenever, like she inspires women, that's her commitment. Like she wants to inspire women because she understands how moms, you were busy at home. And then if you have a profession, you're busy at your profession trying to do the right thing. Then you have your marriage. And then you have your mom and dad. And then you have friends and family. So we have a lot of going on, which is beautiful. It is beautiful. And whenever you begin to appreciate yourself, when you begin to see your talents, when you begin to love yourself more, and go and dive into those limiting beliefs that you're carrying on from when you were 5 years old, or like May and I share the same story of like trying to learn English and how you feel like it's not perfect. We had to learn to let go of perfectionism, and flow with who we are. So whenever you begin to flow with the gifts that you already have, you are enough. You've always been enough. And through the journey of self development, self discovery, you're going to figure out that you are enough already. It's just letting go of those limiting beliefs that you have attached through the years. And as you let go and you grab new ones that serve you better, it will serve your family because they're going to see you smiling more. You're going to share more of you, your authenticity at home, at work, and everywhere you go. So thank you so much, May, for being here. I hope
Thank you.
our beautiful audience today gained, one word, gain one phrase that they can inspire uh, their life to become a better version of themselves. So thank you all so much. If you like this interview, please go to the my YouTube channel, Paola Guthrie. Remember that you are the one that gives power to your talents. Remember that you are the one that gives life to your dreams. Thank you so much for being here. This show
Thank
can
you.
also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you all so much and blessings. We'll see you next week. Bye, May.